And hello, everyone. I'm Terry Lee, pure visionary, psychic medium, and I have the honor of hosting Sun Psychic Jean today. Yes, this is a Psychic Triad show. However, our dear Teri Suzuki of Kigaru Spiritual Journeys ran into some car trouble. She's okay, and there's no problem. She's got help coming on the way, but she'll be unable to join us today. So, Jean and I will be the dynamic duo.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Terry Lee. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Just want to say thank you to everybody for popping in and getting ready to roll with us today. I was just telling Jean just seconds before the show started. I got a great feeling about this show today. I think it's going to be wonderful. And both Jean and I are coming off a little cold, so we might have a little croupiness here and there, but we're ready.
So, Terry Lee, if anybody hasn't seen, Terry Lee did an amazing presentation on the Wisdom Circle on the Crone Zone. We all simulcast, and Terry Lee was the presenter this time, and she did a magnificent job on reincarnation. And I would just like to invite anybody who hasn't gone to see it to, it's on all of our channels. So please
Yes.
do stop by and check it out. It was really very well done, very thorough, and exciting information.
It is such an honor to do the Wisdom Circle with you ladies. And it was a fascinating show, lots of in-depth conversation. And we worked with a lot of, out there ideas. And I thought it was wonderful. So yes, please do check that out. It's definitely worthwhile. So I want to say hi to some of the people that are in the chat right now. Teresa, Hadrian, and Wiki. Hi, Wiki. And Debbie No, welcome. And Dakota Celt One, welcome. Nice to see you.
Oh,
Wow.
she's saying Terry Suzuki is okay. So Dakota Kelt, are you the tow truck driver?
She had a validation.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I was so happy to hear that, it didn't happen on the side of the road or anything.
No.
And she's got AAA on the way. That was the last thing we heard, but I'm sure she's fine. And we'll hear the whole story next time we all get together.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
I hope you're all enjoying fall. I hope that all is well with you. I hope, that you're staying in the peaceful place in your heart and not getting caught up in all of the stuff that's going on around us. And, you know, joy and gratitude and tuning in to shows like this and getting some spiritual guidance is just the ticket to catapult you into a wonderful weekend and having that spiritual peace in your heart. So I'm very excited to get started reading. We'll get some questions going. We are taking questions from the chat. So if you want your question answered, please put it in caps with emojis so that I can see it. I'm going to do the
And
best I can.
and what kind of readings will we be doing today, Terry Lee?
I believe we are pretty much wide open with the exception of politics, which there's plenty of that out there. And like I say, we're going to catapult in joy and peace. So
And
we're not going to
one
mess
of
with
Terry Lee's specialties is strange and unusual
it. Oh, yeah.
happenings. She
Yes.
loves diving into these mysterious happenings or circumstances or experiences that people have had. You remember that one time somebody asked us a question about the spaceship, if anybody was on the UFO that they saw or something like that. They asked us this amazing question, and it just really took on a whole new, everybody was like asking their questions about, well, this happened to me and I saw this when I was a kid and my dad said he saw that. It was amazing. It was just so much fun. um
Yes. Yeah. Thank you,
so
Jean. I do love to get out there. I do. And I do get out there. So bring it. Let's go. So, Jean, let's talk about events. I know we usually do that at the end of the show, but why don't we talk about what's coming up for you? Maybe we'll do that twice.
Sure. Yeah, I have a lot coming up, so maybe I'll do a couple of days now and a couple of days at the end. Tomorrow, I have Mark the Spirit Whisperer on my channel with me at 12:30 Eastern and 9:30 Pacific. And we always have an amazing time. We do a show together, a monthly show together. So I love seeing Mark. And
Mhm.
tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 noon Pacific, I will be on my friend Shane from Unbiased on the Fence. I will
Mm.
be on his show, and we do really beautiful psychic and mediumship readings there, and a little bit of far out in, questions there as
Oh,
well.
good.
Something a little more in depth and unusual. And then on Sunday, I have the Natural Living Expo. It's one of the bigger expos in my area. And it is, um, it's I'm going to be an exhibitor. I'm going to have a booth at the show, like a psychic fair, but I'm also going to be reading a room at this huge event. And typically, I read a room with maybe 30 or 40 people, but this room at this event is bigger and it's more like 70 people. But I'm going to ask them to all move up closer to the front
Ah,
so that
yeah.
they can see everybody. And that's going to be very, very fun. A lot, just really exciting. And there, I have two shows on Monday, since Monday is actually Indigenous Peoples Day here in the U.S. It's actually Thanksgiving Day in Canada.
Mhm.
I didn't realize it was on a Monday. I thought it was on a Thursday, but yeah, so
Excellent.
that's yeah, we'll be able to celebrate both. But I have Joan, Wisdom Seeker Joan, and Gerald will be on Wisdom Seeker Joan's channel with Gerald from Tarot Stash. And then we have Terry Suzuki and Wisdom Seeker Joan and myself will be on later that day on that holiday Monday. So I have a lot coming up.
Yes, you do. Busy, busy girl. I have a question to ask you. I think this is interesting. When you're reading a room, Jane, um, do you ever get like multiple souls coming, trying to come in at the same time? Do you have to take a little time to sort out the messages that are coming in?
The way that I've been trained and the way that we've been trained is to ask for the person's name and relation. And I have a rule for nobody to come and contact me unless I ask for them. So they're all like sitting in the stands. I see the males in like a baseball stand or a football stadium, and they're all sitting. You know those seats where you have to like push the seat down in order to sit in the
Mhm.
seat.
Yeah.
And so all of the men are in a big giant ball stadium, and all of the women are around this big dining room table, and the women are over this side, and the grandmothers are at the ends of the table, and the aunts are right next to the grandmothers, and then all the kids are in the kitchen. So if any female, depending on what, that's how I had to ask, because I
Yeah.
had the darndest time trying to figure out if it was a grandmother, an aunt, or a mom. I couldn't tell. And then so
Ah,
I asked my spirit guides, have them sit there so I'll know what the relation is. So,
oh, that's a great trick. I love it.
yeah. So I have them there and I ask them not to come in unless they're called in. So,
Ah, cool.
yeah.
I usually see them like kind of like soldiers in a line, so like the immediate family, the close family, they're in the front, and then grandmothers and grandfathers are right after that, and so on. But that's much better than mine. I might ask my guys to help me do that.
Well, I took classes from Suzanne Giesman, and
Uh-huh.
that's online, and she suggests having the right and the left, and then she
Mhm.
suggested something similar to that, and then I just elaborated. But one
Yes.
time I was doing a reading for a woman, and I had to walk down the middle aisle, maybe, 15 rows or something in order to get to her. And I was trying to get to her dad. And, this passionate man was coming through, and she kept saying, "No, that's not him. No, that's not him. No, he doesn't look like that. No, he never said that. He didn't work there." And I'm like, "Okay, who else?
Yeah.
Whose dad is coming through? Does anybody else can claim this dad?" And, people aren't, they're just watching. They're not thinking, "Oh, could this be my dad?" But
Right.
so sometimes when I'm getting a very passionate, strong message, and it's
Hmm.
happened here to you and I, on shows, that it's a really strong, passionate
Yes.
message, but it
Yes.
doesn't apply to anybody. And I know there's somebody that listens later that person
Get
wanted
it.
to get to reach.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and sometimes we get, certain things wrong. We'll have to steer back, or if we think it's a
Yeah.
grandmother, oh, it was your aunt. Okay, it was your aunt.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
clarifications like that that'll happen.
Yeah. You got hijacked. That's what I call it anyway. You get hijacked sometimes, and you have to just request that soul to step aside. And then once again, and just to mention this again, if you do have a loved one or someone you want us to do a reading about, please give us their name because it does help us in these little quick mini readings to be able to call them forward. It really helps us get the job done.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I'm
where I get the
loving all.
most practice, is these little mini readings.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I would love to get the practice of just, bringing in people without asking for their name first.
Yes.
I think it actually was gonna be easier. We've all done things the hard way on here. We've Doing things here and doing readings for people in the chat is way
Yeah.
harder than going to a show and having somebody sit
Yes.
in front of you.
Yes. Because the vibration is just, a little bit weaker, I think. It really takes a pull from us to get those messages out. And so I just wanted to mention that I'm going tomorrow to the most fabulous celebration here in my valley. It's called the Trailing of the Sheep. And the sheep
Ooh,
herders bring the sheep down from the mountains and they bring them right down Main Street. It's an amazing thing to see. And then they have a little fair and they have the Scottish Highlanders and all different kinds of bands and delicious lamb meals. And so I'm excited
ooh,
about that. I'm going to that with my grandkids tomorrow. And then I'll be doing a live show by myself on Wednesday. So flying solo on Wednesday. Tune into that. And with no further ado, because we've been doing, um, we should get started, don't you think?
sounds great. Whenever you're
Well,
ready.
I've got lots of things starred. And if you see me looking over this way, I'm looking at the screen, getting those starred questions. And I saw a couple more pop up. So I just want to get you guys in line. And boy, this is great. We've got some wonderful questions here. All right. So we're going to start with, excuse me, Leanne. Leanne wants a card. All right, Leanne. I'm going to draw an oracle card for you. And
Let's see
Jean,
what I have. Let me see what I have out. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna Kyle Gray's deck. This is the Angel Prayers from Kyle Gray.
very nice. Very nice.
And let's see.
So, Leanne, you're going to get two cards. Let's just see what Spirit has to say to you today.
Mm. Well, I got do you mind if I go first?
Oh, please.
Okay, so it looks like there's a change coming up for you, Leanne, because I got Archangel Azrael, and he is the angel of change and transition.
Beautiful. That's
And it
very
says, "Thank you, Azrael, for leading me safely through this change." So,
okay.
yeah, we're going to have to talk about the eclipse coming up as well.
Oh, yes. We're going to have a big party. We're going to see it quite well here in our valley. Not the whole thing. Well, we'll get about 3/4 of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It'd be fun. So I, Leanne, drew from, and I can't put the box back together. Hold on. I'll just leave half. The Healing Waters. There we
Oh,
go.
that's beautiful.
Oracle.
Mhm.
One of my favorites. Beautiful messages. Okay. And the card I drew for you to go along with that change is Plunge. Isn't it
Ooh.
a lovely card? Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it and dive in. So I'm going to read just whatever spirit guides me to here in the description. Oh, okay. Don't falter as you approach the water. Dive right on in. Head first. Don't resist. You've been working for this for a long time. You're ready. I love that. You are ready. I feel very strongly about that. Go for it. The answer is yes. And then your soul inquiry can be, if you weren't worried about it not working out, what would you plunge into right now?
Mm,
Worth some thought. Worth some thought. Those two cards went together quite well, didn't they?
absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Well, all the best to you, Leanne.
Yes. And thank you so much for your question. Okay, we're going to go right over to JR. Welcome, JR. JR would like a message from his guides.
Okay. And I see that Wiki is saying, are your lights on a timer? Yes, they are. They go on at 6:30 or somewhere around there. Um,
Maybe
so
she thought
yeah.
the angels just turned them on for you.
Mhm. Wow. Oh, let me see.
Go ahead when you're ready, Jean.
I was just reading the chat. Sorry. Let me go in. So I see a candy striped awning, almost like you would see outside of a donut shop or a confectionery shop. It looks very Parisian as well. Do you know what I mean by candy striped awning? It's I'm not sure if that means anything to you or why I'm having this image, but it's very like old world and it's almost nostalgic. Perhaps there's something nostalgic coming up for you, and there's something of the past that you long for or that you wish was back again. And that's the feeling that I'm getting from this awning, this candy striped awning. Um, and it's from like it seems like it's from like a small town. It's not a big city kind of thing. It's like a small community, a small town. I'm not sure if there's friends or a group or um, uh, some sort of group that you used to hang out with. Like, you know how back in the day, did you ever go to ceramics class and you would go to ceramics and I can't paint to save my life, but you went there to chat with your friends and you went there, all the ladies, and one lady was so funny, you'd have to like, hold it in because she made you laugh so much. There's something nostalgic that you're remembering that you're missing that is community, um, that is like close knit, just something sweet, confectionery. I'm not sure what this could be for you, JR, but this is what I'm picking up. Let me know if that makes any sense.
Yes. Interesting. I kind of got a little different scenario that the guides gave me. The first thing they gave me, it's really strange. It's an old fashioned train. I see it moving along the track and it's going into a tunnel. And as it goes into this tunnel, the lights are flickering on either side, chuck, chuck, rolling by, rolling by, rolling by. And then as it reaches the end of the tunnel, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a normal thing that you would see from just the light from the train. Remember, this is an old-fashioned train. It spreads out like rays from the sun. It just really blows up out there. And what the guides were saying when I asked them, "What's the train?" There's something in motion in your life that you've been working on, and the tunnel represents a period of doubt where you almost gave up on it. And as the train comes out of the tunnel, it blasts the light everywhere. So, also with the momentum of the train, that's continuous energy, continuous motion. And that's what they're telling me. Keep that motion, keep going. Don't let it slack. Know that what you envision is what you create. Your imagination is energy. Your heart is energy. When a desire is in your heart, it has a very powerful energy. You are surrounded by guides and loving angels they're here to help you. And know that you have the power to go full force into whatever this is. Your heart knows it, and you are greatly loved. Oh, yeah. I hope that helps.
Wow, very much. JR is a light worker for sure,
Oh,
and,
good
she,
to know.
is very much, connected to the spiritual realm and signs and synchronicities. Um, she did have a response to my portion, and I just wanna say thank you
Yes,
very much, Jonasea, for this super sticker. That was very generous of you. Thank you.
yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So appreciate your support. Okay, so JR said, I'm from New York City, and our neighborhoods have that in our stores. There was a neighborhood close to mine that felt like a small town. I've been having dreams about it often lately. Well, that's a wonderful
Wow.
validation. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. Okay, I'm going to go back. And
Yeah, let me, that was really very interesting the way that the train was going through the tunnel, but the tunnel just reflected her moment of doubt that she couldn't see what was coming or couldn't
yeah,
see what was ahead, and that allows or that enables her or caused her to have some doubt. But then the train came through the tunnel and it was shining, and this is like that the ascension is what I see. This shining
yes,
what we're working towards, what we're hoping. There's, and Valerie from Illumination Portal says this, like 2025, there's something really big going to be opening up for all of us. And we need to keep our eye on the future and keep our eye on the hope of things improving. And they will. And we've all been putting in so much work towards this. I thought that was a beautiful analogy and an amazing way to discuss this, and that she was really charging forward and moving forward like a locomotive. I thought that was really, really interesting. I was like in there for it. And then you asked the guides, and I thought, oh, I didn't ask the guides.
my guides have been giving me messages about from the heart too. And lots of times we think it's all our mind, our mind, our mind, but really your heart and your soul work together to push that energy out. And boy, when that thing came out of the tunnel, yeah, it it really did look like the rays of the sun. So
Wow.
get
And
back to us, JR. We'd love to hear
she
about your
she
adventures.
she did. She just gave us another response there.
Okay, let me get on down there.
I know you have to.
Ah, we hit it on the head. Well, the guides did. We're just the vessel, but boy, do we love it when
She
you get something that helps you out that comes right from your guides.
she said that she's working towards many goals right now, and she's obsessed with winning. That's that locomotive kind of energy for
Yeah,
sure.
it is. All right. Well, let that heart
Spot
drive you.
on. Wow.
Yeah, great.
Thank you,
Okay.
Leanne.
So good. Wiki's providing us with an out there question. That's great, Wiki. I was told that I was a student of Socrates in a past life, but I forgot to ask if I was Plato or someone else. Any thoughts? Wow.
Well,
Okay, well, we'll dive in, see if we can get something on that. Wiki, student of Socrates. Hmm. Obviously, you were a man. I don't think Socrates had any women students that I'm seeing anyway. I'm seeing a group of men.
I'm almost feeling like you were for him, and I'm not comparing ourselves, I'm really not, but you were for him what you are for us. You are holding space, you are supporting, you are adding to the conversation and to the energy. And where he would go and discover and philosophize and discuss an idea to and elaborate the idea, and then you would say, and this and this and this, like you would be holding space for him and supporting his ideas and thoughts and philosophy. And it was almost like a collaborative, but it was almost like you understood what he was trying to come across with, and you were almost validating what he was saying. I see this like kind of back and forth, and it wasn't like student, like nothing and he knows everything. It was sort of like a group discussion, like a think tank, or just opening up to all ideas. And all of you were philosophers and thinkers outside of the box, and you all collaborated. So that's what I see you as being a student. It would be more of a support and a collaborative, so that he would be able to fully round out his ideas, or the point. You would help him to elaborate, just like you do with us.
That's good. I am really trying to dial in that name. Ooh. I feel so close. I've got the visual of them gathered together. Uh, fascinating. Um, I'm I'm hearing something that's an M or an N, and I'm trying to pull it in. I think it's an N. Ah, it's not Plato though. Nikalos, Nika. Ah, I don't know. I don't know if we can research that or not, but it sounds something like that. And Jean is right on. Jean is she painted that picture pretty well. I find it let's see, what I'm seeing is, someone doing this in the conversation, and everybody is leaning in and receiving. I'm hearing that you had a particular take on things that was quite unusual compared to the others. And you were very much, I just heard you were very much a very vital part of this group. Ooh, let's see if I can get anything else. Okay, this is unusual. I'm seeing a man with dark hair, but blue eyes. Blue eyes. This is what I'm seeing. Okay. Sorry, I'm just not getting that name right. Nika. Ah, no pressure, right? Nope. That's all I'm getting is like a Nika something. There you go.
Mhm,
It's
and she was just in Greece, and she goes, "Now I have to go back to Greece." Well, I think that may have been one of the things that led you there to begin with. Mhm.
That's fascinating. Thank you for that opportunity. I love to see things like that. I love to feel them. That was really nice. Well, there you go.
Right, right, and Pixie does has a question if you wanna start for later up there around, 4:57 your time. So,
Okay.
Wiki, I
Oh,
I
thank you.
find this with other, past lives that it's not too far from who we are today, from who we are in each lifetime, that things and patterns tend to repeat, and it's not dissimilar. So when you asked, and you are such an important integral part to all of our shows, all of the readings, all of the
Yes.
you're always involved and adding, and I'm like, this is the energy that I feel that you were for him too, holding space and adding and sort of elaborating or rounding out. I just thought that was really interesting. Um, but I love the visual of the dark hair and the blue eyes, and
Nice.
and
Yeah.
if he's from
Unusual.
Greece, then Nicola or Nicolo or
Nico,
would be
I just
uh-huh.
couldn't quite get it. It's so funny sometimes, but I do wanna interject here. Wiki, if you haven't, go back and watch that show that we did on the Crone Zone of reincarnation. One of the things I had a past life regression, and one of my questions was about, accessing information on our past lives. You have to watch the show so you get the whole deal. But I learned something, and this is what I was reaching into when I got that visual, is that I can go to your higher soul who contains all of your lifetimes and request information. And I just think that's fabulous. And I definitely, since then, I've learned that it just feels so much stronger to me to say, okay, just go right to the higher soul and ask that information. So check that show out. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Wiki. We love you, girl. Okay, here's another one. I love it. Dakota Count One. Recently, I have had cups moving on a table, and it was witnessed by my mother and I. Another time, I could feel someone pulling my chair. Do my guides have a message for me? Okay. Or
Wow.
would you like to know who it was? We can look into that too. That's fun.
I feel vortex energy. I feel it's energetic and almost like magnetic ley lines or magnetic vortex is what I'm picking up with that pulling sensation, because if it's the it's that vortex or or an energy center or an energy portal is what I'm picking up. Some sort of something in that family. But let me do, just as you were reading the question, I picked up on that,
Okay.
that it wasn't so much a who.
Okay. I Okay. I'm definitely feeling that this is someone who is in your soul group. This is someone who's trying to get your attention. It's a male. This person is in your soul group. And I'm going to relay just for a second here something that happened to me 3 nights ago. 3 nights ago, I have my 4 a.m. wake up, right? So I'm just kind of laying there in that nice zone, and I kept feeling something touching my leg. And I'm like,
Oh,
all right, cover myself with the white light and protection, nothing but the love and the light in this room, right? And it happened again. And so I immediately go to look to see if it's a soul, trying to communicate with me. But the guides said it's energy. They said, we're trying to get you attention. The energy is very high right now, and we want you to absorb this energy and use this energy in your life and in your readings. And I just got chills when they gave me that message. They reminded me of that just now as I was doing this reading. I believe I'm gonna try to okay, Gene, I'll turn over to you. I'm gonna see who if I can get who this person in the soul group is. This
uh-huh.
person is not I'm gonna see if they've had a life recently on the planet and see if I can
Okay.
get more information. Go ahead.
Okay. The other thing that I was picking
Mhm.
up is it could have been a pet. It could
Mm.
have been a pet. I don't know if you had a cat or a small dog or that their energy, that we all know that the frequency and vibration on Earth is changing. And the frequency and vibration of humanity is also changing. It's rising. And the veil is thinning, and these things are happening more and more. And they are able to sort of penetrate into different dimensions, our dimension and their dimension. It's able to intersect from time to time. And but in the very beginning, I felt like it was a vortex energy, something pulling, something magnetic. And then when I went in and I asked again, the only other thing I could feel was maybe a pet energy around you and trying to get your attention, almost like, you know, pulling on the coattail, that's the coat that's hanging on the chair to, and it almost seemed like a dog pulling. Like, this is like the energy that I feel. I don't know if it was somebody that was just pulling on your energy or that pet. It's either the vortex or the pet. I could see I could see both.
Well, we've got 2 different things going on here, and it may be because you are spiritually inclined. Lots of times, um, you get more activity like that than the regular person. But this is someone in your soul family. This is someone who passed away when they were young. And I'm getting that they're in your family somehow, like ancestor, something like this is a young male. I'm looking at, I don't know, throw this out there. You got to say what you see. 10 to 12 years old, just a young, kind of a Huck Finn looking young man who's passed away. Um, and he is acknowledging, okay, so I'm hearing that he's acknowledging your energy, your spirituality, your vibration, and he's the one who pulled your chair. Maybe the cups were like the pet on the table or something, but he's the one. I mean, he fessed up. His name, this is a clue, and I hope I'm right on this. Sometimes I'm not, but it's either Rick or Richard. It's an R name. So Rick, Richard, I'm hearing that Rick or Richard. I'm not hearing Ralph or Rudolph or anything like that. So check that out, Dakota Count One, and let us know.
She did say her dad passed, and his name is Keith.
Oh,
And she said that her fiance also passed. I will
oh,
wait and see if she gives us his name. And then she says Suki was her great res dog that died years ago.
oh,
So yeah, so
okay.
Wiki, Wiki or Socrates' student is saying absolutely.
Right on, Rick. Rick, we love your support.
Oh, it was
Oh,
Rick. It was a cousin who passed. Oh my
wow.
God.
Wow.
Pop that up there so everybody can see it.
Okay. I was stunned there. I couldn't move. Wow. You know what's fascinating about that is I had a cousin named Rick who passed away young. So that is absolutely fascinating. Well, they're reaching out to you, this pet that's reacting to you and your cousin. And like I said, it's you're lit up, your light is shining. And they find that welcoming and they know that you're not afraid. And so they step right up.
They want you to know that they're still alive, that they haven't gone anywhere, that they're still here, and that they can still communicate with us. And Nancy Riker says, wow.
Yeah. Ooh, that is great. And Nancy is next up. What do we
So,
got?
but Dakota has one more
Oh,
follow
she
up. She
does.
said, I got her on the reservation, I guess the puppy, and
Uh-huh.
she defied definition. Rick died from an accident.
Oh,
Accident.
goodness.
Wow.
Wow.
From a farm accident, sorry.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Wow. Wow.
Thank
He's
you.
just letting you know that he's there. And if it's too much, you can ask him to step back and you can ask him to send you messages in a different way. But
Yes.
just say, I know that you're here. I can feel your energy. And that
Mhm.
magnetics, there's something about that magnetic vortex he may be able to play with.
Well,
Very interesting to do it
energies are
out.
really high right now. We've got this, eclipse coming up, and then at the end of the month, we got a full moon. I mean, everything is at high energy, high energy. All right, so here we go. Nancy Riker, can I have a read about a man I met online? The energy around it. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy.
And Nancy, would you give us his initials, please? You don't have to say his name, but just, his first and last initial, just so that we have.
Okay, let me see if I got that.
Yeah, she's like, Terry knew the name. She could, Rick. Oh my God.
You
Wow.
gotta say what you hear. It's wow, wonderful. Oh,
It'll take a second. I think we're like maybe 15 seconds behind live.
okay.
She only knows his first name is Carlo.
Okay, Carla. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nancy. Oh, yes, I see that. I started another one way down the line, and that's you. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that. Carlo. Okay, so I'm going to try to get something and then I'll go to the cards. I always do that when I'm reading about someone who's not present.
I have a big circle, Nancy, so he might be giving you a little runaround. He doesn't seem to be a straight shooter. He seems to be a viable candidate, but it's going around. So I'm not sure if he has two or three people that he's conversing with, which, that's how you meet people. That's how you can't just, I guess time is of the essence. So I say, is Carlo or is Carlos? Carlo.
Carlo.
Is Carlo in Nancy's best interest? Is meeting Carlo in Nancy's best interest? No, does Carlo have true intentions when yeah, he does like you. He is interested in you. But I'm not sure he did. Um, is Carlo for in Nancy's highest good? Is meeting Carlo and connecting with Carlo in Nancy's highest good? Oh, I'm getting a no. I'm just getting a no. But
Just
he is interested in you, and he is. I can see him pursuing you. He is interested in you. Um, I'm getting like circles around him too. So he may not even be sure of what he wants. Some people are not quite ready for a serious relationship, but they don't want to be lonely. So it may just be like more of a um, convenience, or let's hang out with each other so that each other have something to do or whatever. Like, but he is interested in you. He is pursuing you. I see that he is focused on you, but I'm not sure that he's quite ready for when a woman meets a man, she says, is he marriage material? When a man meets a woman, he says, can I have coffee with her? Like something, it's not. Yeah. Oh, and she says, yeah, he lives in Canada.
oh,
He's an artist and has friends. Interesting. Well,
okay.
if nothing else, getting to know different people and getting to know the energy exchange and how you feel, you'll get to know like the next one and the next one. And you'll be like, yeah, this one felt a lot like that other one that I met.
Mhm.
Like you'll
Yes.
kind of get that vibration and you'll start trusting your own
Yes.
instincts, your own body telling you. And if not, I suggest you get one of these pendulums, girlfriend.
Or some cards. That's amazing. I always close my eyes and try to get something right off the bat, and I have to say I saw shadows. Now, that's just what I saw. I saw a big wall and a shadow. So maybe that means that, everything isn't perfectly in view at this point. Although the first card I drew was the 3 of Swords. Uh,
Mm.
not a very good sign on the first card. Um,
It could be his heartache. He could have had a bad breakup or
eh,
something.
yeah, and that's what I'm going to say because I'm reading on him, but I did ask about Nancy and Carlo. So that was the question I asked the cards. Give me information about Nancy and Carlo. So there is some heartbreak and some emotional pain involved. Let's see what the other cards say, and that'll give us an idea. So the next one, what a turn of events here. Wheel of Fortune.
Mm.
Now, this is about destinies, and this is what I feel about this. It's also about good luck, karma, but the guys always give me that one word, and it's destiny. So I was led, and I was thinking about it when Jean was talking, to say that all your experience that you're getting with these different relationships that you're testing the waters, you're learning how to use your skill. That is definitely something. And I believe that, yes, this is destiny. There is destiny involved in this relationship, and it couldn't lead you to someone else, maybe, or we'll see what else the cards have to say. The Nine of Pentacles, I don't know if he's a wealthy fellow, but that does indicate that he's self sufficient, that he really loves his freedom, though. The Nine of Pentacles is something that could indicate his love of freedom. Okay. And then the final card, I had to draw one more because it didn't really give me a clear picture. The Judgment card right there. So I believe one of the things from the Judgment card is a second chance. Okay. So I believe, okay, this is what the guides are giving me. There might be a little heartbreak involved in this. There might be a touch of destiny, though, where you gain something from this relationship with this man. You learn something valuable. You are destined to have this experience. I believe he really cherishes his freedom. So, as Jean said, he's probably not, thinking, "Wow, I'm going to marry this girl," just yet. But what I'm feeling with this judgment call is or judgment card, that's a wake-up call as well. A wake-up call and a second chance. So I believe this experience that you're having with him is going to give you a second chance with a more meaningful relationship with someone else. Now, I'm not saying avoid him like the plague. I'm not saying that. It's going to be an experience. Just relax. Just relax and absorb the what are they telling me? The pleasure of a friendship, the understanding of another human being, just that relationship that you have while it lasts. And maybe, keep your eyes peeled. You might have something else down the line. That's what the cards had to say.
That was very good. Very well done, Cherry Lee. So
Oh,
she
thank you.
says,
Oh, his wife.
did you want to?
Yeah, I do see that. Here, let me catch up. Okay. His wife died 5 years ago. Now, see, that could be the sorrow. And you just started talking. Well, that's great. So, like we said, that experience, you can get that experience under your belt. And also, um, talk to your guides. Ask your guides to give you a sign or a feeling inside, whether you a sign that you should pursue it further or it's just a wonderful friendship that you're going to enjoy. There you go.
It'll get you out there and feeling
Yes.
more confident in talking to different suitors, um, and get you more confident in yourself so that when the next suitor comes along, you'll have this experience under your belt that will give you the confidence to step out and start the conversation. Yeah, it's definitely valuable experience for you. And he sounds like a wonderful man, being an artist and living in Canada. I mean, what more can you ask for? And you like them. That's what counts.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
But just take it for what it is. Yeah. And I'm sure that you
Mhm.
do. I'm sure that you do.
Okay, well, we gotta move right along here. Michelle Krantz. There's that beautiful picture of her with her lovely cat. Can I
Hmm.
please get a message from my mom in spirit? Her name is Isabel. Thank you. Okay, we'll work on that right now.
But did she like fabric or did she make her own dresses? She's showing me this fabric and it's sort of like a bell dress where you would have the neck was cut out, the sleeves would cut out, and at the bottom of the dress it would have all these little curls and cues, and it would the end of the fabric had like a stitching on it, and it made all these curls and cues, like waves and fabric, and the fabric was bunched at the bottom, but it was almost like a bell dress. But she's showing me, I'm not sure what effect that is in the dressmaking world, but she's just showing me this curly fabric. Oh, she didn't really sew. Okay, so let me ask her, why are you showing me this frilly dress? This frilly dress. But is did she have a dog with her at some point? I know that you have cats, but I see like a bulldog or a dog that maybe is similar looking to a bulldog, like a smushed in kind of a snout there. Not necessarily with the big drooping jaws, but
Maybe like a French bulldog.
yeah.
Yeah, a little smaller.
She is coming in quite quietly though. I'm sort of pulling her in, and she's giving me little wisps. So she's showing me in the around in the 1960s kind of era, 60s and 70s. She's showing me herself as a well liked and social person, but still a little bit on the quiet side. I'm not sure. Was she from a different country or she just seems a little bit different than the typical housewife in America, in the US. She seems to be a little quieter and sort of did things off, not offbeat, but not in sync with all the other neighbors. It's sort of like she kind of did her own thing and wasn't like a group type or a follower type. She had her own ideas and her own presence that she liked to follow and her own pace that she liked to follow. She didn't really kind of, keep up with the Joneses too much. Um, she did show me that she had sort of like set and curled and teased hair. She's showing me her hair was a set and curl and teased look. That she liked that, but she wasn't overly like nails and makeup. It was mostly her hair. Um, Tell me more, Isabel. She was from Argentina.
Mhm,
Okay. She had a spaniel when I was young, a Brittany spaniel.
mhm,
Perhaps that was. I'll have to look up what one of those looked like. She just seemed like she had her own idea, her own set of rules, her own set of expectations, and she almost felt like she didn't fit in, but it was because she didn't want to. Not that she didn't want to, but she didn't feel like that was her thing. Almost like she's like, I'd rather just do my own thing and not run around with those crazy women, right? She wore
mhm.
pink cutlets.
Very, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I don't know what pink cutlets are. I always envied her thick hair. She wore pink
Very
cutlets.
beautiful woman. That's certainly
Mm,
the case. Very beautiful woman.
mm-hmm,
I don't know why. I feel like I've read her before, Michelle. Am I
mm.
mistaken? She seems very familiar to me. She wants to talk to you. Um, I don't know. She's talking about a trip. I'm trying to get, is it something that you've been thinking about taking? Something that maybe you wish you could take this one trip. You've got an idea for a trip, or you recently took a trip. I know I'm feeling she's saying, take that trip. You should take that trip. Um, I'm feeling the sense of travel, adventure. She's smiling, like, and shaking her head. Yes, like, do it. And maybe, I don't know, I'm looking over here to see if you've got something like that in mind, but if you haven't got it in mind yet, watch. Because your mom will probably show you what it is that she's talking about. There's some kind of yeah. Oh, in Las Vegas. Uh-oh. Still very tired, so you're probably not wanting to go anywhere else. But there's something else. And maybe, I don't know, was Las Vegas like a big desire in your heart? Because I'm feeling like she has something else that's really, really big. Um, we're a little short on time here. Let me see if I can. I'm feeling like it's not in the continental United States. Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for that, or just, talk to her about it. Ask her to show you some signs if that's the case. But she's definitely, that's the message that she's got for you today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Michelle. Awesome.
And
Oh, she
I
misses
feel
Las
like she,
Vegas. Oh,
pardon?
says she used to live in Las Vegas. They miss it a lot.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I I think
Maybe
your
that's
mom's saying, the world is your oyster. Go out and experience it. This is, she wants you to see different things and different cultures and different
yeah.
yeah, that's what I feel she may be saying, but she didn't really come in very, very strongly. I had to like coax her and but she's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff those other women do. She goes, I like doing what I like to do. She was very
That's
confident about it. She wasn't feeling bad about it. She wasn't feeling, like sad or left out. She's just like, I'd rather do my own thing. I like what I do. I like being around myself. Like she seemed like she was really okay with it and really had her own sense of style. Like she was her own leader. Um, yeah, yeah.
she wants you
Um,
to live it while you can. That was the vibe I got. Okay, let's move right along. Shaughnessy would love a message from her guides. Okay.
I love that icon. It's so beautiful. Look at that
Mhm.
green blue color. It's beautiful color. I bet you took that too. Did you go back home yet? I think she was planning a trip back home. I think I remember. I don't know if you've made that trip back home yet.
Shaughnessy made a trip.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
They want you to not sort of examine everything to the nth degree. They say you tend to, and I mean this with the kindest, most sensitive, tactful way I possibly can, you tend to overanalyze things, and instead of letting things happen and going with the flow and not having to know every single step that might happen. You're very much a planner. You're very much you have vision. You have like forethought, which is very admirable and creative and important. But you almost tear down all of the details so that there's no surprises, and they want you to allow them room to come in and surprise you. They want you to kind of let go of the steering wheel sometimes and just coast and just float. Put the oars in the boat and just float down the river sometimes. Don't worry about steering it and getting it in the exact groove. They want you just to put the oars in the boat and just relax and let them drive, let them float you and see where they take you. I just feel like there's an over analytical or over type of um, controlling factor that you may be um, tending to do, and but they're just saying, let us drive, trust them to steer you the right way. And you're very tuned in, you're very in sync, you know how to listen to your guides, and they want you to trust them. They want you to trust them and just allow for things to unfold. It's really a hard thing to do for all of us. It really is.
Well, it's interesting. Um, let's see. This is the one that she reacted to. Pluto, Moon, and Virgo. Ah. Thank you, Jean, because that made sense of what I got a visual of because I was making funny faces going, what is this? I saw knots, like a ship's rope, big, thick rope, and it was knots, and it was just a line of knots. So that would explain exactly what Jean was saying, I think, you know. Um, there is someone coming, though, and they spoke this quite clearly to me because I saw someone's hand coming out to you. Someone is coming into your life, or maybe you know this person right now, who is an excellent mentor, who is an excellent person to help you with this overexcitement of the mind. This person is going to help guide you. I don't know if you already know this person, but they will keep your eyes peeled if you don't, because there's a person coming into your life. I don't, I'm not getting a name or anything. Just I'm feeling like they'll teach you meditation, or they're gonna teach you some things that will help you through this, help you untangle these knots. Thank you. That's what that was about. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Ah, okay.
Excellent, Terry Lee. Very, very spot on. And it's almost like they have what you need, and they'll allow you to let go. They'll help to encourage you to let go a little bit, and whisk you away.
Great. All right. Well, it's an hour. Gina, you want to go for a couple more, or shall we call it a day? Some wild
It, it's
readings today.
it's up to you. I know it's getting close to your dinner time, so uh, what
I had a
I'll
delicious smoothie. I could do one more reading. How about you?
okay, that
Okay,
sounds
let's
good.
do one more. Okay, let me see. Where are we in line? Uh,
All the
oh,
best to you, Shauna.
okay. Sonia Pinola, may I get a message from my nephew, Rusty?
It's a cool
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
Was he very young when he passed? How old
Was
was he when he passed?
I'm sorry, I swore.
He doesn't seem
That's
very
exactly what I was gonna ask.
he doesn't seem he
He's
doesn't
young.
have, like, an adult energy.
Mm.
It's either teenage or younger or maybe early 20s or younger. How old was he when he passed, Sonia?
Let's have a look here.
And I could be wrong, but that's just the energy he gives me.
I
Very
that
playful,
that was it.
very, pardon?
Yeah, that was what was coming out of my mouth. That was the first thing I was gonna say. Was he young? I saw a young man. So and she says yes.
Okay.
Sorry, that just blew my mind.
Okay, she said she wasn't sure his exact age. Okay.
Okay.
He wants you to let the family know that he's okay, that he's learning a lot, he's gaining wisdom. There's something that is, almost like something that's wrapped around his head. I'm not sure if this is like a helmet that gives him information or if this is just information that I'm seeing that looks like a helmet. But something is wrapped around his head that's informing him and teaching him and instructing him that he's able to gain a lot of wisdom. He's doing some sort of like upgrade or something on the other side that he's letting you know that he's okay. His soul is still with family, and he's watching over the family. He is with his mom, and I think his mom actually he his mom is still here, and he's watching over his mom, still here in this
Yeah.
world, and, meaning that he has his eye on her, and he's watching over her, but he's also going through some upgrades and some in really important information that he's learning on the other side. Maybe you can tune into him, Sonia. How about you, Terry?
I felt very okay. So, aside from me saying that he wasn't I knew he wasn't a child, a young man. But that blew me away. We got that at the same time. Um, what I'm hearing is a simple well, first I got this beautiful rose pink that I get when when they're sending a great deal of tender love. I feel like he is very grateful that you're asking to hear from him. He is returning that with love. He told me that he's very involved with the family. He's very involved in the sense that he's watching over and that there are signs there if people are willing to look, they will know. That's what he said. Tell them to look and they will know. He is seeing like little rays of light. So what this is saying to me is that he's giving people ideas, thoughts, directing them. Um, It's not like a controlling feeling, it's like a subtle, like a still little quiet thought or something that might occur to someone in the family, about something that they're going to do. I didn't get any specifics on who, he just kinda told me, "I'm working with the family." I feel like he was a very intelligent young man when he was here on planet Earth, and he was very, I feel he was very curious about things that he loved learning, and he was very intelligent. He wanted me to say that. Okay, I said it. Um, he's sending you a big hug and a bouquet of flowers. He's just very pleased that you asked about him. Like, oh, that's so sweet. And I agree with Jean. He's sending that love message to the family and wants them all to know and look for the little signs. He said that tell them to look and they'll know it was me.
It was really
Okay.
beautiful.
Wow.
I know. It was
That
really
blew my mind.
beautiful. Yeah. She did say that his mom did
Oh,
pass, so
she
those first
okay.
words out of my mouth were probably, I mean, that were accurate.
Mhm.
Yeah, when he said he's
Oh,
watching over his mom, that sh and that he has this thing wrapped around his head. It must be that intelligence thing that
maybe
he
it is.
needs to know, and he's learning stuff, and it's just
That's
something about that.
he
Wow.
wanted me to say it. He wanted me to say that. That's interesting. And thank you, Sonia. I really appreciate your question, and we're sending you love and light. Well, everybody, we have quite a few questions that didn't get answered. I starred quite a few, and that happens. We just want you to know that we tried the best we could. We truly, and I know you did too, Jean, we truly enjoyed all of the questions we had today, all of the readings that we had. And I'm always, always honored and thankful to be able to give readings. It is truly a joy from my heart. I want to say one more time to Jean. Let us know when we can catch you next, Jean.
I'll be on tomorrow with the Mark the Spirit Whisperer at 12:30 Eastern, which is 9:30 Pacific, and I will also be on Unbiased and on the Fence at 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 noon Pacific.
Okay.
And then I'll be on Monday with Joan, Wisdom Seeker Joan. We'll be on all day.
Right. All right. And I'd like to just interject this. If you enjoyed this show, please hit that like button. Tell other people you think that might have some interesting questions for us to come on board. We'll be seeing you a week, not next Friday, but the next. And we'll be with Terry Suzuki of Kigaru Spiritual Journeys. And you can book a reading with Terry. And I showed Jean's information there. And she is an excellent reader. So consider that. And you could book a reading with me, purevisionarypsychic.com. I've made some new dates available and some new times. And if you don't see a time that works for you, just send me an email at purevisionary@gmail.com and we'll get that worked out. I will be on Wednesday, 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, and 2 Pacific, and I'll be doing readings. So if you didn't get your question answered today, pop into one of our channels and try to get your question answered then, because I know, as having been someone who lost someone very dear to me, how important it was for me to hear from them. And so I'm really hoping to not only help you get that experience, because it's a beautiful and wonderful, dear thing. So please keep trying, because we're willing to help you. We'll just keep plowing through those questions.
Yeah, and thank you, all of you who asked all of your amazing questions. This, I really, we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
We were, we had so many different, really interesting questions. We really
Mhm.
appreciate all of you participating and all of you who are here
Yes.
holding space and just
Yes.
supporting us. We really appreciate it. And Terry Lee, you are a master driver. She was doing
Oh,
the driving today.
thank you. I think I'm getting a little bit better at it.
Oh my God.
Oh, what a blessed day. Well, Jean, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And everybody out there, thank you once again for participating and your comments. We feel your energy and we love you all. And I'm going to remind you, as the guides tell me to end every show, and really think about this: you are loved beyond measure. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.